And so we're going to look at local muscular endurance methods, starting with tempo lifting. Now don't confuse with the tempo intervals, which is a cardiovascular training method. Tempo lifting is designed to develop local muscular endurance in the muscles that are being worked, depending on the exercise you're using. Now typically, if the goal is to develop strength and power, we're using heavy weights, we're using explosive movements, and that's how we're going to get bigger and stronger. In this case, we're using strength training to develop endurance of the musculature, and we're actually trying to develop the capacity of the slow twitch fibers to oxidize or get rid of some of the byproducts that are going to be produced by the faster twitch fibers. So what we're trying to do here is develop local muscular endurance rather than strength and power, and that means we're going to be doing things quite a bit differently than we would if our goal was, like I said, to develop strength, power, size. Now the key here to doing tempo lifting is tempo itself. That's why it's called tempo lifting. So what we're looking for here is a 2-second eccentric, a 2-second concentric, and no pause at the top or the bottom of each rep. Aside from that, we're also looking to make sure they don't hold their breath at any point in time during the lift. Now again, the goal of all these local muscular endurance methods is, just like it sounds, to develop muscular endurance in the areas that are being worked, but it's also to develop postural endurance, because all these methods require the right posture to be maintained for somewhat long periods of time. So particularly if someone shows core endurance weakness, they show postural problems in the assessment, this is one of the methods you're going to want to use to develop strength of that ability to maintain the proper technique and the proper postures, because proper posture is key for maintaining the right effective biomechanics to improve your endurance. So again, the key here is tempo, 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds, no pausing, and constant breathing, no holding your breath. Now, Mike here is an Olympic weightlifter, very high level. He's not used to training slow. He's not used to using this tempo, so it's actually going to be pretty challenging for him compared to somebody who's more of an endurance athlete. But that's why he needs to do it. If he wanted to develop the endurance of the lower body and the core, this would be a way to do it. Now, his sports weightlifting, he may not need to do much of it, but there are still benefits to incorporating small amounts of this in the right period of time throughout the training year, depending on your sport. So we're going to have him step out. Typically, again, like we said, typically we do 8 to 10 reps, anywhere from 40 to 60 seconds 40 to 60 seconds rest, and then repeat that anywhere from 4 to 6 sets typically. So the key is to count the tempo for him to start out. So I'm going to count 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000 for him to get the speed right, and we're going to do 8 repetitions to start. Okay? So 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,002, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 1, 1,000, 2, 3, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,004, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 1, 1,005, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,006, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,007, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,008. And that's good, just 8. He likes to get an extra one in there just for good measure. Okay, but again, when you first start using the method, you're going to have to do some time with them. Otherwise, they're not going to get the tempo properly. The goal here, you shouldn't have to count out each and every rep for them. They should learn the proper tempo and be able to do on their own. So we'll have them, again, your rest period is going to be 40 to 60 seconds. So when you first introduce the method, on that 60-second range is where you're going to start. And as they progress, you're going to want to gradually decrease that rest interval until you get down to about 40 seconds. So again, it's harder than it looks. It's not a heavy weight, but learning how to control it at those lower speeds is tremendously more difficult sometimes than you would expect it to be. So usually you start out with around 40%, maybe 50% of their 1 rep max. So this time I'm going to have him do the same thing, but this time I'm going to have him count the tempo. If I see him speeding up too much or I see him at the wrong tempo, I'm going to cue him to speed up or slow down. Or if I see any postural technical things, I'm going to cue those as well. But my goal here is to see he learns how to maintain the proper technique and the proper tempo himself. So let's go ahead and do set number 2. Okay, so this time an easy way to do this to make sure they have the right cadence is to simply time the set. Okay, for 8 reps, you should be roughly at around 40 seconds, 38 to 40 seconds. But go ahead and just do 8 more on your own time. Good. Don't hold your breath. I can hear you holding your breath. So again, you're cueing constant breathing. You're not going to let them hold their breath. They're learning how to control breathing. They're learning how to control those things as they are under load, which is an important component of this. Good. And you're starting to speed up a little bit concentric. I want you to keep it a little bit slower on the way up. There you go. But don't hold your breath. Good. Nice speed. Control all the way up and all the way down. Good. So you can see there, he really didn't require a whole lot of cueing. His squat technique is good. He obviously squats all the time. He's got full range there. His mechanics are good in the squat. He was starting to speed up. That's the first thing you'll notice is as people start to fatigue, you'll find that the concentric phase is typically where they're going to speed up first, and you're going to see them going from 2 seconds to 1 second. So you got to cue that speed of movement to slow down and fall within the range you're looking for. So we'll just give them another little bit of rest here, and we'll have them do one more set. And again, what we're looking for as we do these sets is to make sure that they can maintain that good technique, maintain that good posture, and respiratory function as they progress. So on the lower end, you're going to start 3 to 4 sets. You're going to work up to 4 to 6 sets. You want to use big compound movements like squats, deadlifts. You can do push-ups or dumbbell or barbell press. It's almost impossible to get the full number of reps and sets for most people in pull-ups. So you're going to start with a lat pull down or a row or something like that. But you've got to pick these big full body exercises that allow you to do the movements properly. So let's go ahead and do one more last set. Good. And you can see he's got good tempo now. 1,000, 2, 1,000, just about the right speed there. He's not pausing at the top or the bottom of the repetition, so he's got constant movement. Okay. And you can see he's got good spine alignment, good control. Now you're starting to speed up a little bit, so you're going to cue slowing down on the concentric. There you go, nice and smooth. Don't hold your breath. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Control it, there you go. Okay. So again, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for them to perform all the sets, good technique, maintaining respiratory function, and making sure that they control that movement even as they start to fatigue. So you want to select a weight where the last rep or two is going to be at failure or very close to failure. If they're able to do all the reps and they're not straining at all, you're going to want to increase the weight a bit. If they can't get all the repetitions that you've told them to, 8 to 10 reps, whatever the case may be, then you're going to obviously need to lighten the weight. But the tempo method is a great way to build local muscular endurance. Obviously, this is going to build it in the core. This is going to build it in the lower body. You can do other exercises like we talked about for the upper body. But it's a great way to build muscular endurance so that the muscles themselves can utilize the oxygen the cardiovascular system is pumping into them in a more effective manner. And it's also going to develop a lot of core endurance as well, because you can see having to control your posture and control yourself under those loads at very low speeds over 40 to 60 seconds of the set is going to develop that core endurance and that postural endurance, which will translate into the other movements and the more explosive movements that we're going to cover in other methods as well. So that's a tempo method of lifting, great way